on to the Turn 1 podcast, episode 18. We're talking all things Sochi with my usual guests, Will and Henry. Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
The fact that they heard the bing bong
Hello.
means you can't really hide that. Yeah, if this is the first time you've watched the F1, the Turn 1 podcast, or listened to it, well, this is how it works. Me and Will do a bit of racing with Henry in the background looking after the chat. We'll talk about what happened during practice, qualifying, and the race, and then we come up with some news at the end and, yeah, wrap up. So, without further ado, let's crack on. So, let's talk about it. Well, yeah. What a race. Where do we start?
At the beginning?
That's a good place to start. Let's do it.
Free practice, of course. I always seem to end up with free practice as a thing. Dominant Ferrari performance, let's be honest.
Yeah. A track that they said wasn't going to suit their car, if I remember correctly.
Indeed. Form suggested that Red Bull would be up there fighting too, but no.
Well, I mean, was the Max up there was that FP3 when he up there, P3?
Possibly, but I think Mercedes were on a different set of tyres, which was
Okay.
as well. There was much
Intrigue.
Mercedes almost seemed to know they weren't going to qualify on the front row, or dominantly, and chose to do a different practice programs during free practice. I think FP2 Mercedes did the long runs on the medium tyre, the yellow wool tyre. Sorry, don't want to make it complicated for people.
I think we know white's hard, yellow's medium, red's soft, so that's fine. We're fine with that.
Yeah, but Mercedes from the offset decided to go for a new strategy or a different strategy, and Ferrari went for the more conventional strategy, should we say?
Yeah.
Even in free practice. So that sort of set up the weekend quite nicely. Mercedes ended up using all their medium or soft tyres, was it?
It was all their mediums, wasn't it?
They had no fresh soft tyres for the race.
Right.
They were on scrub sets for the final stint, which we'll get on to, but they had no soft tyres left. Which was, again, intention was basically they're going to run long onto the mediums, onto the softs for the final, 20 laps, I think, was the prediction.
Right, okay.
And, in free practice, that's what we got.
Racing Point looked good, didn't they? Racing Point, both cars in FP2 in the top 10. The new update that they brought in Singapore seems to be working for them as well.
But McLaren didn't look particularly strong, did they, in any of the free practice sessions, I don't think?
No, they didn't. They looked like they were struggling a bit. They were 2 seconds off the pace of Red Bull at one point.
Albon was 2 seconds off, wasn't he? He was having a shock of a weekend, wasn't he? He was 2 seconds off Verstappen in FP2 or FP3.
Yeah, but then he knew he got the engine penalty, didn't he?
Yeah,
that's true.
Focusing on long runs again, because Red Bull do tend to do that occasionally. Just focus on race runs rather than quali.
That is very true.
When they do
Didn't
have
Albon
engine
crash?
penalties, definitely.
Albon crashed into the barriers in quali.
Yes,
Was it quali?
Yes, it was.
So the long runs actually came in because he had to stop from the pit lane. It was a mixed. It wasn't what people expected free practice to be, I think is what we're saying.
Yeah.
I think with McLaren though, they seem to struggle, but they're going to be up there.
Oh, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? Because even if the strategy is wrong, they can. Even if the setup's wrong, they can change it by qualifying, and they've got a good base level. Do you know what I mean? So they know they should be in the top 10 most tracks.
Their upgrade package from Singapore working nice, I think.
Yeah.
It's definitely consistent. And of course, we had some news announced on the Friday.
Do you want to break the news? Because
could do.
Go on, you break the news.
Mercedes engines for
Yeah,
2021. Exciting times, I think. Exciting times.
absolutely.
Ferrari team. As a McLaren fan, Tracker, how do you feel?
I'm over the moon about it. I think it's been something that is exciting me. Going back to the glory days of, hang on, let's start. Let's go. Going back to the glory days of the. Oh wow! Whoa! I'm fighting for position here at the minute. Yeah, going back to the glory days, it's going to be absolutely brilliant. It's a great combination. Oh, Will's messing up a little bit there.
I think any F1, just general fans, are excited by the news.
Yeah, that is a competitive aero car going to be a competitive engine. It's exciting.
We don't know what the regs are for 2021 yet, though, do we?
True.
They've not been signed off yet, but apparently the thing is they're going to be 6 seconds slower than what they are now.
6 seconds.
You've seen it here first, guys. I have the lead.
Tracker, everybody's going to overtake you because they're faster than you.
I'm just keeping it nice and careful. I don't get to see Tracker drive. You don't realise this usually. So it's nice to see his driving line.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm enjoying this at the minute. What's this clear air business about? There we go. Full concentration at a minute. I'm not used to this.
McLaren with Mercedes engines is going to be an exciting prospect, and it looks like they're going to keep points and Norris.
Norris. I don't think Norris is part of any deal.
Not as we've been.
Norris will stay. Norris will stay because the package will be there.
Indeed, but will Mercedes try and pilfer him if they, want to? Much like they had the option on Bottas.
Yeah, they've been watching Bottas, weren't they, in these younger years, weren't they?
I mean, it's good prospect for Norris. Let's be honest. Okay, McLaren would lose a good driver, but if Norris is attracting the attention of Mercedes, that's good for his career. Let's be honest. It's only like a Charles Leclerc going to Ferrari, isn't it?
That's true.
All we can say now is, in the words of Will Buxton, we have got an exciting 18 months ahead of us. Because in F1, if you think it won't happen, it can happen. Anything can happen in F1.
Yeah, that's my words normally.
Anything and anything can happen.
I mean,
that's very true.
Move on to qualifying, because of course anything and everything did happen in the race itself. It was, interesting. But qualifying was, well, on form up to Q3, would we say? Everything was sort of expected. Williams obviously didn't get through Q1. Toro Rosso's didn't get through to Q1, you want to say?
No, I don't think they did they?
And then it must have been the Alpha of Kim.
Alpha of Kimi won it, but didn't Gasly get through?
I was going to say Gasly was P12, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I think Gasly got through.
I can't remember, so of course a lot of teams didn't try and qualify that high because they had engine penalties. Because we'd lost the Toro Rossos, obviously, and Red Bulls from basically where they were going to be. Because they had 5 place groups for their new engines, was it?
5 for Gasly, 5 for Verstappen, and I think the other 2 were going to start at the back of the grid, weren't they?
Because didn't Albon crashed, didn't he, in Q3? So he ended up starting from the pit lane?
Because, he would have started from the pit lane if, say, his front wing isn't the same spec as what he went into qualifying with.
It wasn't the front wing, it was the floor. It was the floor that was out of spec.
Is it floor? That's it, thank you.
And
they
let's
put
be honest.
And they put a new engine in the system as well, didn't they?
Yeah.
Another new engine into the system.
Well, why wouldn't you, I guess?
Yeah.
That was the one news from free practice. Kvyat ended up blowing up 2 engines.
Yeah.
Oops.
Free practice weird, 1 and 3, I want to say.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
at his home Grand Prix, which was, upsetting for him. He has been driving well enough. So, yeah. But then I think the lap was Hamilton's that most people were impressed with. In Q3,
Hamilton's? I thought Leclerc was pole, wasn't
he was, but look how much gap there was from Mercedes to Ferrari all weekend, or through free practice and qualifying, and Hamilton goes and puts it on the front row. Nobody expected that to happen.
Well, you see, when I was listening back to the radio commentary, Leclerc's pole lap, he actually messed up on the last sector. Said he messed up a few times, and he still got P1.
He still went quicker.
So he was actually surprised he got P1, even though he messed up on the last sector.
But Mercedes was like half a second behind in Q2, I want to say.
Yeah.
It was quite. Hamilton pulled back either way, and I mean everybody expected Ferrari 1-2 on the grid, and it didn't happen, did it? Don't know what happened to Vettel. He didn't report any issues or problems. He just wasn't faster than Hamilton. And what was the more dominant car? But then, as we found out in the race, P1 was not the position to own, was it?
I think Leclerc admitted that, didn't he? Being in pole wasn't the thing. Wasn't the place to be.
Did Vettel purposely not want pole?
Well, it certainly worked out for them when we talk about the race. What happens? That was a fast listen to that on the radio. Regardless of the strategy, that made it seem like they didn't know what the hell they were doing.
It just made Leclerc for the second week running it look like it sound like a sport brat.
Yeah, I mean, let's talk about post qualifying, but pre-race, because Ferrari briefing must have been very interesting.
So, what can we make of that briefing? What was it? So, the slipstream.
So Ferrari were concerned that Hamilton would get a slipstream off Charles, and that it would put Hamilton in a chance to get the lead of the race. So there was an agreement in place between Charles and Vettel that he would get a bit of a slipstream to get past Hamilton, and then he would get past Leclerc, but after turn 2 he'd let him back through again or something like that, or you know what I mean, on his way down to turn 4, just that left-hander.
Yeah,
possibly.
He would let him back through again, and they would just carry on their merry way as 1-2.
Yeah.
But Sebastian Schumacher decided not to follow the team orders, did he?
Multi-21, Seb. Multi-21.
It was the Seb of Multi-21 coming back.
Yeah.
There was
He's now got the car kind of where he's happy to. He can push it now, and we're slowly seeing the old Seb come back because the whole team now are around Leclerc, because do you know what I mean? He's shown he's quicker, and then Vettel went and did this.
I think that's it. He's not a team player, really, is he?
I think this stems from Monaco. Not Monaco, sorry, Monza.
He's got to be very careful because I know this is going back a bit, but remember when Alan Prost went to Ferrari? Wasn't a team player there, started slagging off things, and he got fired.
Well, yeah, Vettel hasn't slagged off Ferrari yet, has he? He just disobeyed a team order.
Oh, he didn't. He just said bring back the effing V12s. You know, that's as bad as Alonso saying GP2 engine.
That's a fan, isn't it? Really, he's just saying bring back the F12s. They won't bring back the F12s.
No.
Yeah, but you don't openly dish your own car company's engine failures.
You mean like Alonso?
Yeah.
You mean like Red Bull to Renault?
Well, both of them didn't last very long, did they?
Well, that was Red Bull's own fault, though. That Renault thing. But
I still maintain, to be a proper world champion or a dominant world champion, you're not a team player.
It's weird because Lewis is up to a certain extent, isn't he? He probably hides a bit away from Bottas, but
this is really what I think, though. Why Lewis is so great in a team because he does help Bottas, you know.
He shows him bits, but not everything.
Yeah, but I still maintain they don't give Bottas priority because he doesn't overtake. He's not aggressive like Hamilton. He's not that born racer that can get that position. But Hamilton is, so they'll prefer him. He's going to get the P1.
Yeah.
So basically, Seb took the lead from technically corner 2, but most likely corner 1.
It was just after corner 1, wasn't it? Because that's for
Yeah.
flat out left, right kinks. It was just after that, and he was already alongside him.
That slipstream effect didn't seem to work in the race, though, did it? We were
No, not really. No.
a lot of the midfield cars didn't seem to be able to use it like Seb did. And I can't see why.
So I think both Ferraris got a good start off the line, didn't they? Because he was already alongside Hamilton after the start, wasn't he? He got such a good start. He was already alongside Hamilton.
Can I just talk about the McLarens for a minute there on the first lap? Where were they? P4 and P... Was it P3 and P5? P4 and P6? They were up there. Their launch system was incredible.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got a good start, and then obviously did you get in front of both?
It took Bottas 7 laps to overtake Sainz.
Yeah, Hamilton kept P3, but Carlos was right there. And
yeah,
of course, Mercedes started on the medium tyre, not the soft as well.
Yeah, that's probably what bogged them down as well.
Yeah,
it's not as good as the red tyres off the line, is it?
No, but then again, did that strategy come into work? We'll sort of never know, I guess, as the race comes.
we won't, will we, now?
No.
It's one of the questions that will never be answered.
Well, I think it's worth trying it, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of people have a go at the teams and the drivers for not taking a risk on strategy, and Mercedes did this weekend. Medium tyres.
Every team knew it was going to be a one-stop race.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
So why not try something different?
I think everyone's...
I'm not...
Russia's been one of those tracks that's always been a one-stop race, though, isn't it? Think back to the first race when Rosberg locked up into turn 2. He came in, pitted for hard, and made it to the end of the race.
Oh, yeah.
See, I'm not the most technical of people when, tyre choice and stuff come up, but surely it makes sense to start on the medium with the heavier car and then have the lighter car on the soft tyres towards the end.
It all depends how your car reacts on the heavy fuel load with the tyres. Because some cars will be good at that and some cars won't be as good as that.
But you'd think logic would dictate that, wouldn't you? That
Yeah.
the grippier car would be towards the end of the race. But not many teams seem to do that, which is interesting.
I think they all sort of copied each other, didn't they? They all went for, we're going to go for the red tyres to be at the front, or get some good starts, get some good positions, but I don't know.
Yeah. There's too much on track position, isn't there? Because they can't take, which I'll point on later, actually, because there's been a lot of talk this weekend about Ross Brawn. We can put that in the news section.
We can put that in the news section.
You can be in your news section. Well, yeah, we can open with that.
But corner 2 that Grosjean race.
Was it
It was corner 4, turn 4.
No.
Corner 4.
Yeah, it was after the long swoop in left that
Yeah.
Giovinazzi was... I was talking to Henry about this last night, and I think Giovinazzi was just an innocent party. He was just sandwiched between Ricciardo and Grosjean. It was like he had nowhere to go. He even tried to back off, and both back tyres from both cars hit his front suspension. I'm very surprised that he didn't actually break his front suspension at all.
Well, his front wing hit Ricciardo's rear tyre, didn't it? Because Ricciardo got a puncture, and then Ricciardo also lost a lot of floor damage as well from that.
Yeah, I think it was a racing incident. I didn't like the fact Paul di Resta came straight on the commentary and said that's a racing incident and give him a penalty. It's almost like the commentators feel like they've got power over the decision. And I'm like, no.
Oh, but they have. Ever since Karen Chandok came on,
True.
Yeah, that's true.
But Paul di Resta was a pain in the arse in commentary. I'm going to use my expletive on that one.
Hey.
What's he even doing? He doesn't even know F1 anymore. Get him out of here.
I honestly thought they put Anthony Davidson in because considering that the F1 game always has Crofty and Anthony together, those two should be together. I know there's no Martin Brundle
this weekend.
No, he was on the Skypad.
Oh, well, they should just put him in there because Martin Brundle was driving, wasn't he?
Yeah,
he was racing at the Nürburgring.
Yeah, he's not there this weekend. I don't think he's there for Suzuka as well because he does so many races, doesn't
he? Yeah, but the commentary was really getting on my nerves. Paul Drester just can't commentate. Same as Jolyon Palmer. I will not watch F1's review of the race with Jolyon Palmer because he knows nothing about
So you don't listen to the Checker Flag podcast then? There are other podcasts available. Yes, I admit that. We're not the only one out there.
But Jolyon Palmer knows nothing about F1. Neither does Paul Drester. And it was getting on my nerves. But racing incident, Grosjean, giving that to Ricardo.
Yeah, I agree.
I was how badly the Haas broke, to be honest, because the back suspension went on that Haas, yet the Renault, solid as a rock.
I've seen Poppadoms
more damage.
I've seen Poppadoms take more damage than that Haas, you know.
It was really strange how it just popped and went.
It was, wasn't it?
It's strange that their rear suspension is so easily breakable compared to everybody else's.
Maybe that's why they cut corners. Although Gunther Steiner's in a bit of trouble for a bit of slagging off the stewards.
Did anybody hear Magnussen?
Yes.
Oh God, that's all he would talk about after the race in the pen. Oh.
But that's the thing.
I mean, it is annoying though.
But it's one of those. It's a slam dunk decision, simple as that, and they all agree it in the drivers' meeting beforehand as well. So it's like they can't complain because they've agreed to it. They might not like it. That's the rules. Rules are rules. If they let them get away with that, that's taking away the safety aspect.
Just if you think he was innocent, look what happened in the F2 race when somebody cut the corner, when somebody did the same sort of move as he did, and then two cars ended up in the barrier.
It wasn't the same though, was it? Because he did go through the last thing, which is the exit out of the the escape road, if you want to call it that. But it was the fact the angle he came off incident or whatever, he couldn't physically turn to make the first barrier or first eliminators to go through. It was at such an angle, at such a speed, he would have just crashed. I agree that the penalty's a penalty, and that's what they decided. But I think he should have had the right to appeal it due to the fact he physically couldn't get to the first bit to get through, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
In the F2 race, they gave that driver 4 penalty points and a 15-place grid penalty, I believe.
Well, Aiken for that.
No, not Aiken. I'll find it. You carry on talking. I'll find it.
Yeah, because I thought Aiken was pretty innocent in that. Really, he took the escape road. But it takes me back to France, and Perez took the escape road and gained an advantage, and still got the penalty. It's a bit like, well, he did exactly what you told him to do. Why are you penalising him exactly? It's not his fault that all the other cars were slow around that corner, Yeah,
I know, but there's common sense though, isn't it? It's like, if you've done it, just give back the position, you know what I mean? The team should have gone, okay, we've gone up a position. He's seen it on the telemetry.
Yeah, but like you said, he lost time, he'd lost life in the tyres, he got dust on there. It was when a mistake actually cost him some time anyway. It's not like he gained an advantage from doing it. So, like I say, give him the penalty, but give him the chance to at least appeal it.
Yeah.
Prove. Because, it was a time penalty post-race. It doesn't matter if the result changes down the line in a couple of months. It's a couple of points, but you never know when that could come in handy for Haas, Yeah.
Oh, Lard's overtaking me.
FIA chuck it out, FIA go, nope, you've got no rights to appeal. At least they had the chance to appeal, I think, was what was needed. So, Haas didn't have the best of weekends, did they?
No, but they scored their first points since Germany. So they got 2 points from K-Mag. It would have been, it could have been 4, but a lot of circumstances said they could have ended up with 0 if it weren't for the virtual safety car. Because let's face it, we'll come to the virtual safety car in a minute. In fact, why not do it now? The virtual safety car benefited a lot of teams, including Mercedes.
Yes. I have heard many podcasts on this already on this race, where everybody's salty about it because Mercedes got the advantage this weekend. However, Vettel got it last year in Australia for the virtual safety car. All the midfield teams get it variously through race to race. It's just part of the, It's just like if it started raining. There's no way the teams can predict it. If you get the advantage, you get the advantage if you're close to the pit lane. If you don't, you don't. It's part of the sport, Don't get salty. Gave Mercedes a 1-2. It was for safety reasons,
I do agree with something that Paul. Why? You can open it up on a safety car, but what about virtual safety car?
What, closing the pit lane?
Yeah.
If somebody has an accident or some damage or whatever.
No. If they have an accident or damage, that's a reason to come to a pit lane. Simple as that. But if it's just to do a regular stop, close the pit lane.
Flat spot inside dangerous?
No, because people drive on with flight spots. Depends on how severe the flat spot is, really. It has to be telemetry proven that it is dangerous.
And the FIA can see all telemetry as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if it's a regular pit stop...
if they can see that it's going to cause a problem, then they can say to the team, you can box under this virtual safety car.
Yeah.
You know how much time it takes the FIA to make any decision? I don't think that's going to be soon enough for another race. Just leave it as it is,
I think they'll look at it potentially for 2021.
Yeah. It's got the advantage this weekend. Ferrari have had the advantage before. McLaren's had an advantage before. It just evens itself out over the year. It's luck. How it falls, just deal with it,
In Japan, it could work. If there's a safety car, it could work out that, it could benefit, say, Red Bull or Renault or Haas, whoever. It could benefit. I mean, it went against Hulkenberg this weekend, but in Japan, it could benefit Renault. It could benefit the other teams, and teams are going to lose out. But that's just part of the sport, isn't it?
Yeah. But how happy would you be? Renault were 1 and 2 after a virtual safety car. You'd be over the moon.
Of course you would.
And so would all the fans, because they want to see a different team at the front. It just randomly happens,
Yeah, I know. But I think the virtual safety car... Oops, just took a bollard out there. The virtual safety car shouldn't... I think the pit stops shouldn't be allowed in the virtual safety car. If it was a full-blown safety car, yes, go for it.
Maybe they'll look into that then. If enough people complain about it, maybe they'll look into it for 2021. Because obviously they're going to make loads of rule changes for 2021.
How about if they have to make the pit stop a certain length during the virtual safety car, so it comes back to a normal pit stop time?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I say make it the same. Make it the same time.
So I'll a neutralised time. So that would have been like a 10-second stop. Pretty much like a 10-second stop go.
Well, sort of, I guess. But the car doesn't have to stay stationary. They just need to move slower through the pit lane or something, so the car doesn't lose temperature and all the other things they have to manage. If you get what I mean, for safety reasons, so the brakes don't go too. Whatever, some way of timing it so the pit lane still takes the same amount of time.
Because Mercedes gained 13 seconds from that pit stop. So if there's a way that they can give them 13 seconds back, so it's the same amount of time, then I think that could be an idea.
I don't know how you'd implement it. Obviously, there'd have to be various ways of looking at it, and the teams have to agree on it. Maybe you could do some of it in the stop, and some of it in slower, leaving the pit lane.
Maybe if they're going to come in the pits, they have to go slow around the track. Just, not like as slow as everybody else, but just slow down a little bit.
Keep a delta?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Keep a different delta to what everybody else is keeping to under a virtual safety car.
Depend on where the pits fall, that sector, so be it sector 1 or sector 3 or whatever, have to be under a certain time perhaps, or time, something like that. I don't know, what does the chat think on that one?
Yeah, good shout. Chat, let us know what you guys think. Speaking of chat, Henry, first time tonight. Let's go over to the chat. Fill us in what's happened.
We won't talk about your driving skills here, Tracker, because Michael Patterson said no. He's hold on. Michael Patterson said nice qualifying. Michael Patterson said nice qualifying.
Hey, I held first place for a lap or two, which is a rarity.
Michael Patterson's a traitor. I can see it now. Next podcast, he'll be on our side. Do you know what I mean? He also said Williams didn't get through Q1. I'm shocked.
Wow. Oh, yeah. There's some, speaking of Williams, remind me, say Kubica later on. I'll something about that.
But to be fair, George Russell, P14 after all the penalties. Go, George.
Yeah. Henry, back to you.
Michael Patterson said, Grosjean crashing, I'm amazed. Now, I had to put him right here because it wasn't Grosjean's fault. I had to stick up for Grosjean at this point. But Michael Patterson admitted he hadn't watched the race, so he didn't know about the incident. So I said he was innocent.
I suppose we forgot about Kimi as well with the jump start in there.
He should have just kept on going, shouldn't he? If you made the jump start, just keep on going. Don't stop.
Somebody said do a Maldonado and just go for it.
He should have just fucking gone for it. He should have just gone for it down the middle. He would have been in the lead to the first corner, wouldn't he?
I still remember that. Which circuit was that? Which circuit was Maldonado? Was crashed her doing the jump start where Crofty went, a brilliant start from Maldonado.
Let me find out.
But yeah, that jump start was a bit embarrassing, but the lights were on for a long time.
But he jumped on light 4.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He jumped on 4 seconds.
They can actually decide how long or how quick it's going to be.
They can have anywhere up to 8 or 9 seconds, I think. So you got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which are a second each, and then it's up to 5 seconds after the lights go out that the lights are on. That they can go. They can go off. So they can go pretty much straight away from the 5th light, or they can wait 5 seconds and go on 10.
Okay, it was past the Maldonado. It was 2012 and it was Spa.
It was Spa. That was it.
There you go. You're all welcome for that.
We're talking about virtual safety car, there's been stuff floated around that they should restart racing on the start line.
No.
So everybody's going to go. Yeah, I always thought that, but I also thought, what if the drivers knew when the lights were going to go out? Because they always go about how good the start is. If every driver knew 1 second after the light, you'd get a few jump starters who have preempted it, and you get some people that absolutely blast it. Imagine how intense that would be. Because they know when it's going to go off. Can you imagine the starts? The reaction time's sort of taken out of it then. Which, again, is driver skill, but, you know, they seem to be taking a lot of driver skill out of F1 at the minute.
Yeah. Well,
but,
like I say, I think the lights were Raikkonen. If you actually watch it back, he jumps when the 4th light is on. The 5th light hasn't even lit up.
That's
when he jumped.
He should have just gone for it. He should have just gone for it.
He just slipped off the clutch. That's all he did.
Well, it's the same as Australia, wasn't it? But that was for different reasons. Those at the back couldn't see because of the halos. They hadn't thought about that. Hadn't they? That was a bit silly.
Well, it's sorted that out now.
Quite bad. But, yeah. So, virtual safety car changed the race. You had Leclerc in P3 at that point, I think, for his pit stop. And George Russell. Was it Russell? No, it was Vettel, wasn't it? MGUK failure. Virtual safety car.
Yes, it was. That's what it was. And he couldn't make it round to the pit. He was 2 corners away from the pit lane entrance, and he was just told to stop the car because he was just in danger of electrocuting. That's why he jumped so clear of the car.
Yeah, this was for safety issues. This wasn't any tinfoil hat. No. You know, Vettel wanting Leclerc to lose. This was Vettel safe, which we all agree on, I think.
I didn't think there was any conspiracy. The fact that how far he jumped from the car, you could see he gave a lot of effort to jump from the car. You knew it was safety. That was so he didn't ground himself against that car.
Michael Patterson, I told you not to say that, didn't I?
What have you said? Come on.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not repeating it because he's just going to upset you. You'd have to ban him. to ban him. That's what I'm going to say. He
Read
said,
out the chat. It's your job.
okay, he said some Sky VIPs went to the McLaren Tech Centre recently. Laughing face, laughing face, laughing face. I've got a sauce. I want to know.
Tomato, brown.
Was it? Yeah,
Ketchup.
tomato sauce, brown
Yeah.
sauce, ketchup, yeah, mayo. So there you go. That is actually true.
Mint.
I know that. That's true. That's
I
true.
know. I didn't win it. I entered it.
No, did you?
Yeah, I didn't win.
I might know somebody that works in a couple of years, so do you know what I mean? As long as me and him stay friends, you'll be alright.
To be fair, we carry on like this. Press passes, guys. Press passes.
Press passes, we'll be there.
Hit that follow, give us a review, get us to grow, guys. Then we can give you even better content. Exciting announcement coming up.
Yeah, we've signed for Mercedes.
Mercedes
Oh
have
my
now
God.
bought the Tower podcast.
Oh my God, I've got back markers. I can see back markers well.
Oh my god.
You're doing well, dude. You're doing well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so on the Vettel thing, the reason why Vettel was told to park on safety grounds, Ferrari knew that the car had lost electrical insulation, but not what the potential consequences might be. So he wouldn't have got, he couldn't have got back to the pit lane anyway.
No.
Which Hamilton and Bottas to pit under the virtual safety car.
Yes, both of them did. I think they pretty much double stacked, didn't they?
Again, Mercedes though with the bravery to double stack. Hats off to the one team as well as Red Bull that will do such a thing. Pit stops are really good. You'll be pleased to hear Lando Norris got the fastest pit stop. That all
McLaren
over
did.
Twitter.
Yeah, I was happy about that.
But
I'm just
then-
a happy McLaren fan this year. It's just nice to see them not being down with Williams. Oh, we have a yellow flag situation. Whoa!
Ted's notebook. And,
Yes, I watched
Norris
that.
was. He was like, "It's the first time we've got triple points in the season for a long time." It was a nice.
There's a bromance there that we never knew was going to happen.
Yeah, but
Between
isn't it nice
Norris.
that he's interacting with the drive? Well, the drivers are interacting with Ted.
Yeah. I think all the drivers are starting to open up to the social media aspect, though. The club's been posting on Instagram. Even Vettel's official page has put loads of stuff up. So,
Yeah,
it's getting to the stage. Liberty Media have done a good thing there.
yeah, absolutely. It needed doing though. F1 was so behind the times.
But back to the racing. Virtual safety car. Russell ends up crashing under virtual safety car.
That was as it ended. It went green flag.
Yeah. Bringing out a actual safety car. Still don't know why it went. There's various rumours that the suspension collapsed, the front wing ended up under the front tyres, brakes could have failed. We've not been told unless Henry knows better.
I haven't seen anything yet, but I think, as Paul DeResta said, I think it was brake failure.
It
Yeah, it
seemed
looked-
like brake failure.
It was too straight a line. He's too good a driver to do something as silly as that. Sorry, Grosjean.
Because one brake locked up and the other was still the other side was still rotating.
Yeah, and I mean he was running at P14 and competitively at that point, so that was quite a loss to the race. 2 DNFs for Williams in a row now for Russell.
Yeah.
Bit of a shame, but none of them have been engine failures or anything like that. It's all been, something silly, I guess, that failed or a crash. So,
Should we talk about why Kubica was retired?
Yeah.
Or the official statement that was given out?
So the statement that I heard from Ted on the notebook was that he was retired to save parts. Now they said
Yeah, I
parts,
think
P-A-R-T-S. Yeah.
He thinks his engine parts, doesn't he?
Is it so drastic down at Williams that they have to now save parts?
yeah. And then the joke obviously is going that they've not been competitive in any race. They could have retired after lap 3 at all races and saved
Yeah.
the parts.
They weren't going to get any points. They haven't had a point since Germany. And they spawned that one. That was proper spawn of scutter. And yeah, they weren't going to get points. They've been the back markers for 2 years now.
all I can think of is it was a safety fear on the brakes. Is all I
Yeah.
can think about. Retire him,
Yeah.
but that's pure speculation.
Hold on. Okay, so with regards to Russell's crash, Williams F1 is investigating the cause of the lock-up, which sent his car into the barriers at turn 8. According to Kubica's engineer Dave Robinson, again, I haven't seen this anywhere else, but a couple of websites, we're not in an easy situation, and Japan is right there. Given Williams' lack of competitiveness this year and Kubica's early retirement is likely owing to a worry that the unexplained incident for Russell could have happened on his car.
That's what I think they bought him in, because it's literally a lap later, wasn't it, that they bought him in.
Yeah.
So
They were
it could be
probably worried that he would have. They were worried that he may have the same problem. If it was like brake failure, they might have been worried that he would have happened to him as well.
And could we say, like, Kubica's a slightly more fragile driver, putting it politely? A big incident probably would not suit him and put him back many years. So, reasons, whether you agree with them or not, probably best to bring him in.
Yeah. They probably retired him on safety grounds because of the crash the lap before, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
If we were team bosses, we'd all do the same.
Yeah, exactly. If one car goes unexpectedly, you bring the other car in. Unless, if it's engine, then yeah, you go for it. You keep pushing the other car. But if something as safety critical as suspension and brakes, yeah, you don't risk it.
No. So that happened. So Mercedes were in the front. Leclerc kept third place, but I think pitted under the safety car. All fresh softs.
He was second money, and then he boxed for the red tyres, didn't he?
Hamilton aced the safety car start as per usual. Something experienced drivers know how to do. Vettel last race mastered all three of them at Singapore, starting at different places and getting a good run on everybody. It comes with experience, And Bottas had to do some defending, did he not?
He did.
And he defended well. He really did defend well.
Well, Bottas is a good driver.
And one of his favourite circuits, he defended. He did a solid race, to be honest. I don't think he was ever going to get the win. Because he qualified P5?
Yes.
Leclerc, Hamilton...
Vettel.
Verstappen.
No, Verstappen had the penalty, so P4 after penalties, maybe.
Yeah,
no,
he was P4.
Five
Yes, he was
penalty.
P4. He was P4 after penalties.
So Bottas would have started in fourth. Yeah.
Because Sainz started in fifth.
Yeah. There we go. That works out.
We've sorted it. We've cracked it, team.
Hey, there we go. Where's the crystal?
So, I mean, yeah, Mercedes sort of dominated the race from there, really, I think. Bottas kept behind. Hamilton got the fastest lap on Leclerc, couldn't believe it after the cool down room.
Yeah. For once, I didn't actually think, oh god, Mercedes have won because of the strategy. I watched it and I was thinking, yeah.
The thing was, though, the strategy was bubbling through the whole weekend, wasn't it? Like I said, from free practice, Mercedes on the medium tyres and starting on the medium tyres. It was so strategic. It was not a boring rusher for a change.
No, it wasn't. It was a good rusher.
I mean, even the start when Ferrari were dominating, it wasn't exactly boring. Vettel was putting in fastest laps. Leclerc was trying to keep up.
I don't think Leclerc could keep up with him though.
No, Vettel had checked out.
Vettel had gone.
Vettel didn't need to give that place back whatsoever.
And then they screwed him. This is Ferrari. They screwed themselves over because they box Leclerc, and then leave Vettel out for 4 laps. Halfway through those 4 laps, he says, "My tyres are gone. I need to box."
Yeah.
And they went, "No, carry on." No, just fucking box him and let Leclerc overtake him on the pitch. On the pitch.
On pitch?
Yeah. Forget without the racing on grass now. Forget it.
Yeah, that's true.
Let him overtake him on the track.
Yeah.
Or 5 laps to go. Say to Vettel, you give that place back.
Thing is, though, it's something Mercedes do. If Bottas says he wants tyres, they'll give him tyres. If Hamilton wants tyres and he demands it, he gets tyres, Mercedes actually listen to the drivers. most of the time.
This was Ferrari. This is Ferrari going. You've disobeyed a team order. We're more likely to. I think they're galvanised themselves around Leclerc now. You've disobeyed a team order, so we're gonna. This is the only way we're gonna switch it back around. Is to leave you out there for 3 or 4 laps more, and then Leclerc's gonna get past you on the thing, and then you've got to try and get past him on the track.
You know, Ferrari cost themselves a win. I think even if the safety car hadn't have happened, we said about the tyre strategy. Mercedes on the fresher, soft tyres could have overtaken Ferrari in the straight. Let's be, put that out there.
I don't know if they would, though, because nobody else really overtook on the straight, did they? Hulkenberg didn't get past Norris on the straights. He was there for quite a while, wasn't he? I think if Hamilton had half a chance, he would have done it somewhere else on the track, because he knows with DRS he wouldn't have got close to it. They're about 5 miles quicker in the straights than Mercedes. But
so let's just say Mercedes had the opportunity to overtake.
He would have taken it.
He would have.
I think if Hamilton had half a chance, he would have taken it.
Yeah.
Whether it paid off or not, we don't know.
No, but I think Mercedes had done the right thing. It could have got them the win, and Ferrari would have thrown it away by preferring Leclerc to Vettel.
All they did was shoot themselves in the foot. I said this earlier on. They just shot themselves in the foot. They should have just, as a team, gone right. We need to get a 1-2 here, or if we can get a 1-2, then we need to. Do you know what I mean? This is what we need to do.
Yeah, be ruthless like Mercedes do. Make whoever's second your wingman, and just win the race. Ferrari are a championship.
Here's the thing, though, right? People don't know about this, but Sebastian Vettel, even though he retired early, he stayed around the paddock. I think Ricciardo left quite early. He stayed in the paddock, and he then went down to the pen. And on his way down to the pen, somebody spotted him picking up litter, plastic bottles and stuff, and putting them in the bin on his way down to the pen.
Well, he'd only had half a day's work, supposed to fancy a bit of exercise.
I think he was just looking after the environment, mate.
Could have been.
There is a picture somewhere of Hamilton and Vettel quite close together. Their faces quite close together.
Yeah, there's a proper bromance going on there, isn't there?
Really is.
They do respect each other, though. People don't. And on the track, they're ruthless racers. Off the track, they get on.
Yeah. It's nice to see people get on, though, isn't it?
They're the pinnacle of the F1 sport. Yeah. And apparently in drivers' meetings and FIA decisions, they are very close-knit together. They do talk together. They work out what's best for the future drivers.
Yeah.
People don't give them enough respect for that, I don't think. And, yeah. Kind of happened towards the tail end of the race, really. We talked about Magnussen's interest in penalty.
His rant afterwards. His rant in the paddock afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Perez came through, of course, for P7.
He did.
Let's use some of this
solid result
again.
For
I was going to say again, another one that benefited from the VSC was Perez.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Which, nobody's salty about Racing Point getting a few points, are they?
I think they've shown it, haven't they? As they run with their new upgrade, they've kind of got the pace now, haven't they?
Yeah, Singapore's always a hard one. McLaren's upgrade package didn't really shine, I don't think, in Singapore. Neither did Racing Points.
No.
And on a track like this, it showed, they were competitive. All the cars seemed close in the midfield.
It's it'll show in Japan as well, because Japan's a completely different type of track to Sochi.
I've heard, I'll say that for after, but yeah, Japan is a much anticipated track. Ones to see how the cars run. You've got fast sections, twisty sections, but it's not a street, so it is a track. So, yeah.
I'm sorry, I was concentrating on this. Which circuit, sorry?
Japan.
Japan.
Yeah.
I honestly thought it'd be I thought it'd be the Circuit of the Americas that'd be the one to do that.
That's what I mean. There's tracks coming up that will show whether it's just track dependent or not.
Yeah, Because I mean, Ferrari still aren't proven to be the fastest race car, but they are the fastest qualifying car by a mile, as it stands, I think.
Yeah.
They've just got. I think the race pace is a bit better, but not quite there yet.
Yeah. Mercedes still hold the race pace, I think.
Yeah.
More comfortable in the race pace. You know, their tyres last a bit longer. They still put in great times. You've got no idea what the engine savings like on the Mercedes either at this point.
No, that's true.
To be honest, Mercedes don't need to win any more races this year.
No, they don't. They've done it. They got the championship sewn up.
I think it was on Skypad afterwards that Mercedes could wrap up the constructors in Mexico. I think.
Constructors and drivers. Both could be wrapped up. I think drivers could even be wrapped up in USA again. So it's
Yes, USA. USA for the drivers.
which will be the third year in a row that one of the either USA or Mexico have wrapped up a world championship. Yeah.
So does that really mean that adding more races to the calendar is going to help the racing or not? It's just going to be more races that don't mean anything, possibly.
Depends how the racing goes, doesn't it? I suppose.
Hmm.
If it's close racing, then yes. Do you know what I mean? Because there's more tracks, more points available from. It's to drag it out a bit longer, to be honest. I mean, drag out is the wrong phrase to use, to be fair.
It's a hard one to call, isn't it? Because you could end up with 6 races that mean nothing to any championship. And you're going to be sat there going, what's the point? Sort of thing. Or you could have a really close run that lasts till the 22nd race. We need a competitive era for so many races.
I love that. Any day of the week.
Nice work, Tracker. Nice
Thank
work.
you. P2. I'm happy with that.
I didn't hear any crash.
There was no crashes at all.
What?
No
I
crash.
don't believe this.
Hey on,
I
let's see if
can't
they show the
believe
turn
this.
one. Let's see if they show the turn 1 car. There it is, turn 1 livery.
I can't
Oh, it's
believe
glorious.
this. Have you been practicing?
Not at all.
We're in the same colours.
Yeah.
Podcast overalls.
Podcast ovals, but I have my car with the black and green, which is all good. Thank you, guys. Thanks in the chats. Carl off. I call a hoax or hacks.
I reckon there's been some cheat codes as well, Karloff, to be honest. No, well done. Well done.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Where did Lard finish?
Third.
Third.
Oh, well, there you go. Well done, Lard.
He was
GG's
40
Lard.
seconds behind Tracker, though.
Yeah.
That AI was just too slow. It's not representative of Lard, to be honest.
No, I'm not having that. The AI is hard enough as it is.
I think the AI for Lard was put on easy mode, and that's why he wasn't close enough.
Right.
Some of the seconds last time. So, are we going to rate Russia?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I've got the new headphones hurt my ears. Yeah. Let's do it. I think I'll go first. I'm going to give it a solid 8. Solid 8.
8.
Yeah. I think it was a good one all round, if I'm honest. What about yourself? You're going to go 9.
I'm going to give it a 9, you know. That was probably one of the better races. Especially for Russia, because it's usually a ball fest, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll give it a solid 9.
Solid 9. What about yourself, Henry?
Hold on. The multiple cloud says 8 out of 10.
I'm with.
Isn't that a show? 8 out of 10. Is that
8 out of
not a
10
TV
cats.
show? Yeah, there you go. So.
Yeah, look at you knowing your
It's-
TV stuff.
Uh-huh.
What about you, Henry? We haven't got a decision from you. I'm going to turn that fan off. It's 19.3 in here now. Let's turn that off.
I'm gonna say 7. It was a good race. What? What do you mean? What?
I mean, what?
I've been bullied again. No, 7.
I
thought it was a
could
good
put
race.
it as care.
I think it was a good race, but yeah,
¿Por
it
qué?
was better. It was better than previous years.
Yeah, let's face it. The first ever race of Russia was boring. It's gotten better over the years, really, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go. Will, for the first time ever, we're going to do this. It's the news, but this time round, it's Will hosting it. Will, take it away.
GG, Will.
Thank you, guys. News-wise, Mercedes have an upgrade package for Japan.
Oh, yeah?
Did you know that?
No.
Rumours are going 0.8/1 second faster is how much the upgrade package is worth for Mercedes.
Right.
This is DRS, I think, was rumoured, floor, front wing, and possibly a fuel change as well. We should go in Henry's news. Henry?
Yeah.
Yes. Red Bull, I've got a new engine. Bloody hell! A new fuel for Japan. Honda or Esso, whoever are bringing a new fuel to Japan.
Honda are the engine suppliers, Esso is the fuel suppliers.
But there you go. It makes perfect sense.
Unless Ferrari aren't saying that Shell are bringing a fuel upgrade, the other rest of the grid are?
I don't know.
You have no idea what the fuel's going to be worth, but you know,
No, that's it.
it's going to
No
happen.
idea at all, really, isn't it?
Is a Fanny Tech wheel worth it? Fake till you make. Tracker, you have a wheel, do you not?
Yes, I do.
You have the Thrustmaster?
I have the
What's the name
Thrustmaster
for-
Ferrari
what a name for a
F458.
wheel.
Which is the less expensive one, but is still a mighty fine wheel, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So the Fanny Tech one, I've heard, can break quite easily. But not easily, but it does have issues if you're going to put something into it.
Yeah. I've had that F458 for absolutely ages. Couple of years. I can't use it now because of where I'm located. I'm in the bedroom, so I don't have the space to do it. So I've actually given it to my cousin, and he's using it. He says he's got 2 seconds a lap on his F1 2019. He's got 2 seconds a lap from getting a wheel, so it's definitely worth it.
So in that respect, in time-wise, it's worth it. Price-wise,
Yes.
I think the Thrustmaster is just as good as the Fanny Tech, to be honest. I don't think there's much in it. Maybe a bit of customization, bit of force feedback, responsiveness, but for the money, I'd go with the Thrustmaster.
Thrustmaster's good for budget, and it's good for not just for F1. It's good for other racing games like Forza.
So there's our bit of consumer advice to our new person in charge.
Absolutely, and I'll always say other steering wheels are available.
Indeed.
Good old BBC way of saying it. What other news have we got?
I've got some news.
Wow. Hang on.
Sorry,
Can I just say this?
Sorry.
Can I just say this to all the people listening? Before the podcast started, Henry said, and I quote, "I have no news."
I found some news, okay? I went out and found some news. While you were talking steering wheels, I went out and found some news.
Right, tell me the news then, Henry.
Okay, are you ready to hear this?
Yes, I'm ready.
Ferrari aren't bringing any more upgrades this year.
Ooh.
There you go. They brought their last major development to Singapore, which was the floor and everything else, and they're now going to be focusing on next year's car. You're welcome.
Interesting.
There you go.
Yeah.
Ferrari giving up on the championship already?
No, I think they just know it's already over, don't they? So they're going to focus on next year's.
Mercedes are already working on next year since the summer break, to be honest. So, guess we'll see.
Yeah, I think we will see, won't we? I mean, let's have
Should
a
we?
look at the.
Should we talk about the other news that came out?
What, that Kubica said he hasn't been racing since he rejoined rejoined Formula One?
Well, he hasn't, has he? He's been at the back of the grid, so he hasn't really been racing. He's been driving a tractor, hasn't he, in an F1 race.
Hmm.
And that's me calling Williams' car a tractor.
What's the other news you've got?
Toro Rosso name change.
Oh, AlphaTauri, yes. Before we go, fake to make it. Yes, 19 is better than 18 by a mile. Yeah,
I've sent you a DM.
Oh Christ.
From I think it's motorsport.com.
Oh, good.
They have obviously written up about it. So it's been approved by the FIA. They just need the teams to approve it. But they think they've got what could be the colour scheme for this Alpha, whatever you want to call it. Alpha Centauri is what I'm going to call it. You know, the game.
And
so
that's
I don't know if you
very,
can do that.
very monochrome, isn't it?
Yes. Are you able to show the people this?
If I can get a copy of the picture, yeah, more than likely. Give me a sec.
Obviously, it isn't confirmed, but yeah.
Oh, is this another Red Bull design that they show us pre-season, which looks amazing, and then they go, no.
No, it doesn't look amazing at all. Sorry, I don't like it. I don't like it.
Give me a sec. I'll try and get it up on stream.
Should we start the Ross Brawn discussion at this point?
Yeah, can do. Go for it.
So next year, they want to try a different qualifying system. We've talked a bit on the podcast about various ways we've looked at qualifying. Reverse grid, guys. What do you think to a reverse grid?
Right. Okay. So it's going to be good for the smaller teams that are at the back because they're going to be up the front. But in essence, it'll be give it 25 laps and it'll be back to normal again.
This is the thing, though, isn't it? The cars can't overtake as it is. There have one, so yeah, the fast cars will make it through, but some cars won't. 2, you've got dangerous drivers like Grosjean who just can take out every car that's coming past.
Or Magnussen. It's where he defends.
3, if they're limited on engine parts, they're going to have to give them more engine parts because they're doing another race.
Christian Horner said that it needs to go from 3 to 5 next year.
Yeah,
the engines. It has to go from 3 to 5.
They need more bits.
Michael Patterson said reverse grid is a bad idea in general. I don't think it's going to work in F1. I don't think it'll work in F1.
Yeah, nor do I.
Well done, by the way.
Yeah, getting the picture up on screen. Yeah, there it is. That's the AlphaTauri. That's what they're thinking about.
Well, that's what motorsport.com think it could be.
Very monochrome.
There's more black than I remembered. To be honest. I thought it was more white. I thought it was more checkered, to be honest.
It's not the worst car I've ever seen, but...
No, but it's the fact that they're changing it for a brand of clothing, and it's like, for God's sake, I know Benetton was a brand of clothing. It's just getting to that point that's getting ridiculous again. Come on. You've changed it because of a brand of soft drink, and now you're changing it because of a brand of clothing. What's next? They're going to call them, Paver's Shoes going to come into this sport, and then all of a sudden something like Williams changed to Paver's Shoes Mercedes.
I like the fact that there'd be teams in there that aren't, racing teams, like Mercedes or Ferrari, or I like the fact that there's teams that aren't.
Hang on. Yeah. I know.
Racing based, but you're just changing it to a clothing brand, and we all know that clothing brand is to do with Red Bull.
Yeah, I know. And that's the thing. It's just Christ.
Yeah, but
Dolce and Gabbana,
Williams
Honda
with the Williams Martini car looked lovely in the red and the blue.
Yes. Oh yeah, the Martini. Yes. Oh. Yeah. I hope that McLaren stick with their orange and blue. I quite like the orange and blue.
They will, because it's their history. The orange and blue will stay. I mean, it's the second season in a row they've had papaya orange and the blue.
I like it. I do like it.
Yeah, I think it'll slightly change, like how deep the colour is, etc., etc. But it isn't going to change massively.
Some McLaren fans would like them to go back to the silver and was it red of when Mercedes were last there?
Yeah, but there's two things about it. Firstly, the silver and black was the brand of West. the cigarette company, and then they changed it to chrome silver and red for Vodafone McLaren Mercedes. So it's the title sponsor. I think stay with the orange and blue because that is proper traditional McLaren colours. Ron Dennis is no longer there. It suits McLaren's. It suits McLaren where they are.
You don't have a title sponsor, though, do you?
No.
If I'm correct in saying that. But you are still sponsored by Vodafone, yeah?
No. We lost that sponsorship back in 2014.
Okay. I thought you were still sponsored by them, so I was just going to make a point. But that's fine. That's fine.
I mean, plus the fact you'd have 4 silver cars on the grid, both Mercedes and
I would like to see different coloured cars on the grid. That's why I like the McLaren. I like the Renault's quite nice as well.
Yeah, the Renault looks nice in the yellow.
Yeah, it does. Ferrari's red is just normal.
Well, they've changed it this year, haven't they? They've changed it this year, haven't they?
What, the Ferrari's red?
Yeah, they've gone for. I believe they've gone for a matte version this year.
It is a matte version.
Yeah, but it's a bit darker, though, isn't it? It's a bit darker this year.
It's a matte finish rather than gloss.
It's for the engine temperatures. It's a technical thing.
There we go.
Yeah, because I'm that boring.
No, because I thought it was different colour, but obviously I didn't know why. So.
That's why Mercedes has gone for that black fin above the engine compartment. It's distributing the heat from the engine out from the body. That's why the little Mercedes logos are in there as well. It's sort of like a sort of like how a solar panel captures like the sun.
Okay,
right.
Yeah.
Apart from it disperses the heat. It's very clever.
Right.
On Mercedes, getting back to news section, sorry. They fired 4 people recently.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yes, that was for was it racist remarks?
Or religious
bullying.
Yeah, racist / religious remarks, wasn't it? They made some comments that were not needed, or somebody heard them make these comments, and yeah.
I mean, there's not enough information out there.
We won't find anything out about that.
No. We won't.
But they've dealt with it the way that they feel they've dealt with it, so that's fine. We should just go. They've dealt with it.
Mm-hmm.
If they've got enough evidence to sack them, then fine. Then fair enough.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
Should we talk Pat Fry?
What about him? Where's he going?
Okay, so hold on.
Where's Pat Fry?
we need to start a hashtag, I think, guys. Where is Pat Fry, or where is Pat Fry going to? Because obviously he was in a advisory role for McLaren at the start of the year.
He was, and he's done a great job.
He's done a great job. Yeah. Now he's been. There's 3 different rumours. Okay. First rumour is Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Haas.
Mm-hmm.
Which I can understand because they want to get, Haas. They want to get back into the midfield or near the front end again at Tim Williams. And I've heard Renault.
Yes, I heard Renault.
And of course, McLaren themselves still.
Yeah.
Well, track it. I think he didn't say it, did he, Ted? He just said the 3 rumours, which was those 3 teams. Because if Renault are in for him in an advisory role, then he may go back there because he was at Enstone when it was Spinnerton, wasn't he?
I think, yeah.
But it might be down to my. I'm not saying because I don't know the guy. If he gets a bigger paycheck from Haas or Williams, surely he's going to pick one of those 2. It's a bigger job to do to get him back into the top of midfield, but.
True, but his good name is at the moment, still good because he's wonders on the McLaren. So why leave?
Because James Key will be designing that McLaren next year is going to be interesting to see because it's going to be the first one under James Key.
It'll be James Key and Andrew Perdomo as well. So it's it's going to be a good one. Let's face it, Key will be bringing in some of the parts already.
Yeah,
because the Taurus that he used to design was really good around streets like around Monaco and stuff like that when it ran the slower speed corners. So if Andrew Perdomo, whatever his name is, I probably butchered his name, so I'm sorry. If he's good at cars that are good in medium to long speed corners, and they can get the right balance, then you could have a good all rounder.
Yeah.
Imagine if Adrian Newey, Pat Fry, all the great designers made one car. How tasty would that car be?
That car would be great, wouldn't it? So I've got on the screen driver standings. So here we go. So this is after as we stand. So we've got Hamilton obviously in first. What the hell is that? Who's scratching?
It's not me. It's not me. Will?
No.
You still alive, Will?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay.
What was the scratching? It's like someone was going.
That wasn't me.
Oh, okay.
That's what it sounded like down my mic. Anyway, Hamilton leads with 322 points. Valtteri Bottas second, his rival 249. Then Charles Leclerc is up to third with 215. Max Verstappen with 212 points. Then Vettel 194. Then the rest are in double digits with Pierre Gasly still holding on in P6 with 69. Carlos Sainz with 66. And Alexander Albon with 52. Lando Norris is 9th with 35. And Ricciardo is 10th with 34. Then the next, Hulkenberg has 34 points as well. Then Danny Kvyat and Perez have 33 points. Kimi Raikkonen with 31, Magnussen 20, Stroll 19, Grosjean with 8, Giovinazzi with 4, and Kubica with 1. And George Russell, unfortunately, with 0 points. And at the constructors' end, it looks like this. Mercedes lead with 571 points. A clear 162 points, I want to say. My maths ain't working today. Yeah,
Something
162
like
points clear Ferrari, who have 409. Then Red Bull with 311. McLaren for the first time since the 2014 season in double digits with 101. Then
Double
Renault
digits. Double.
triple digits. Triple digits. Triple digits.
Oh my god! You just take. There's not the one off the end. They've only got 10 points now. Knock them back down the grid. Truckers.
Well, in that case, we'll give Renault minus 100 points. They can be on. They can be on minus 32 then. Renault with 68.
Go on.
Renault with 68. AlphaTauri with 55. Force India with 52. Sauber with 35. Haas with 28. And the laughing stock at the end with 1. How's that?
Just quickly, I know we've skipped on the news section, but I found something in the Formula One gossip section on Sky Sports.
I think Dave wants out. Give me a second. I'll just switch back to the internet. Go on.
Right, so Helmut Marko, we all know he likes to. What's the best way? He likes to run his mouth, doesn't he? Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously then when he was at Renault, they like to pick on Cyril Beatball and it double tag. Anyway, he's come out and said Sebastian Vettel has no future at Ferrari after they sacrificed him at the Russian Grand Prix.
I mean, to be fair, retiring still.
Sorry?
I can still see Vettel retiring at the end of the season.
Yeah, I think I've said that since Australia, haven't I? And I'm holding on to that.
He also goes to say, this is in Auto Build, he says, Ferrari has managed to not win with the fastest car. And although he was the fastest man, they sacrificed Sebastian. He has no future at Ferrari anymore.
Guys, what do we actually think of Helmut Marko?
Don't get me started. I'm not answering this question.
I'm letting you answer this question.
No, don't let me answer this question.
Yeah, you're answering this question.
Okay, well, he runs his mouth too much. But I will say this: in he can spot talent in a driver.
Exactly what I was going to say. He's picked up Max, Gasly, Albon, Vettel, Ricciardo, all in his tenure, you know? That is a list of drivers that have shaped Formula One.
I think he was. I don't say this as it's going to sound. I think he's probably glad that he got rid of Ricciardo from Red Bull.
You think he was?
I don't know. I think I don't know. I just think that he's probably happier now because Ricardo. How old was Ricardo when he left Red Bull? 28, 29? Because is he in his 30s yet? I don't know.
No, he's not
I think so.
yet.
And I think if you look at it, he's 30, yeah. So he doesn't fit the brand, does he? He doesn't fit their brand of having young, exciting drivers.
Right.
So maybe not. When I worded it, it wasn't the right words to use. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He would have. If we would like to have kept him, but not as much as he did. They may not have made as much effort as they could have done to keep him. Is that fair?
Right. Yeah, I think it's a fair assumption. Well,
It's the thing with Red Bull, though, isn't it? They have a high turnover in drivers. First, because they're one of the only teams that supply the rest of the grid. Look at it, Sainz, Ricardo. A lot of their drivers go elsewhere. But do they need to hold on to the talent a bit longer? Where's Max going? Max is still.
This is what we've got.
Red Bull forever.
Well, this is why we've got a good 18 months, haven't we? Because we don't know what's going to happen.
Mercedes, Ferrari, McLaren pick up a driver and take them through a career if they want them,
Yeah.
Hamilton's been there in McLaren, Mercedes all his life. Button probably would have continued with McLaren, Mercedes for the rest of his life. Racing career, whatever you want to call it. Red Bull, they don't seem to keep a driver, do they? They let Vettel go, Ricardo go.
I think with Vettel, though, when it was a case of that it was Ferrari and he wanted to drive for Ferrari. I don't know when his contract was up at Red Bull, whether it's up at the end of the season or what, but...
Exactly, though. Red Bull have no long-term prospects for a driver. They're not championship winning now, so why would you stay with them?
It could be the same about Ocon. Because if you read into what Toto Wolff said, it looks like that Renault have an option on him in 2021. As well as McLaren. Not McLaren, sorry, Mercedes.
Yeah. Well, it could be McLaren now, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won't go through the theories, the fan theories and conspiracies that are on Twitter within 24 hours of that being announced, because there was quite a lot of them.
I just stick with the facts. McLaren and Mercedes. End of.
Yeah.
It's a great partnership, as much as, regardless of what people might think, the Mercedes engine is proven to be the class leader. McLaren are on their way up. I think it's a great strategy. I don't have any bad feelings towards Renault. I think they've done a great job with the engine to help McLaren along the way. And
well, you say that, and yet they asked Lando Norris in Singapore, where can you improve the car? And he said chassis. First thing he said was chassis. Yeah, under Ron Dennis, what would have been the first thing he would have said? He said, "Oh, we've got the best chassis on the grid."
Yeah, but they acknowledged that the chassis was rubbish. Don't forget.
No. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
McLaren have acknowledged the chassis has a way to go, even from pre-season testing. So it's not something that's come out of the blue. No.
That's what I mean. What I was saying
passionate McLaren fans saying, we know that the chassis is not the best, but we know we're making the right steps forward. We're not making steps backwards.
But if it was Ron Dennis era,
he would have blamed Renault.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's refreshing for them to come out and say, "Yeah, we can make time up here." Because even I was going to say Zach Brown said, didn't he, to Sky, we've got a really good engine here, or pickup, or whatever you want to call it. But it's just we need to find time in the chassis.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, though, isn't it? Toto Wolff and Zach Brown are really good friends, apparently.
Yes, they are. Yeah.
So it made sense.
And the best bit about that was when Red Bull asked for engines, Niki Lauda said no, didn't he? And so they both said no. And obviously Renault knew that you'd asked Mercedes at the start of the year, and Niki Lauda said to him, "You've got to make the same decision to be fair."
Yeah.
But obviously, Niki unfortunately passed away, and Toto Wolff was the only decision maker left.
Yeah.
He did say it was good for Daimler, though, so I take it it's very financially substantial for Mercedes to be against
It's
McLaren,
got about 35 million a year, isn't it?
Exactly.
which
Well-
might keep Mercedes in the sport.
It might. But I think we're going to have to wrap that up. So, final thoughts before we do proper wrap up. Let's start with you, Will. Any final thoughts?
Looking forward to Japan. Looking forward to the raids. Russia was good. Also, look out for the future for a possible esports thing going on. No more to be said.
Absolutely. Henry?
They need to change the rule on design helmets, as teams and drivers aren't telling the FIA that they've changed them, and that affected Kvyat this weekend. But yeah, I'm looking forward to Japan as well.
And I'll just say, let's go racing. Guys, thank you very much. We're going to wrap up now. So you can find us on Twitter at Turn 1 Podcast. You can find us on YouTube at the Turn 1 Podcast channel as well. And also on Facebook. Guess where it is? Turn 1 Podcast. And you can also email us. Guess what the email address is? No, it's podcast turn 1. Why do you think it's Turn 1 Podcast? It's podcastturn1@gmail.com. Don't ask me why. I can't go into the explanations for that. Guys, thank you very much for the stream. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.
And everyone who's watching, thank you very much. We will see you in 2 weeks' time after Japan. So it'll be on a Tuesday night. If you are listening, we do it Tuesdays, 7:30 till 9. TBC. Until then, take care, everyone. Have a great couple of weeks, and we'll see you after Japan. Take care. Bye.